Can you picture a young boy who grows up, his family's never gone out of the country, he's never been out of the country. To his knowledge, he really doesn't know anybody except perhaps a teacher or someone else in his life who's been out of the country. He even grows up in a church, goes to church all his life from a little boy on up to a teenager, and he's never even met a missionary. It was until he met Elizabeth McMurray, a Bible teacher in Kannapolis City Schools, who God had called to New Guinea as a single lady in adult years, that he finds somebody who makes a radical difference in the world. And she starts to care for this young man, and she pours her life into him. She even takes him to a camp at what is now Columbia International University, and the world opens up to him. This young man is called to ministry. He reads the Bible. He discovers that there is something called the Great Commission that tells him to go into all the world. It's spoken to his heart. He continues his education. He does take a missions course in seminary that was taught by Helen Falls. She begins to inspire his heart about the world, and she, as a single woman, also had been all over the world sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ. His heart is moved. He then takes his first pastorate. That church is 104 years old. To his knowledge, it never had sent a missionary overseas, nor had it also been involved in a mission trip in any way, shape, or form. His heart is stirred to try to get people to go, but many don't care. He says to himself, if I ever plant a church as God has called me to do, I'm going to do something about sending people across the world. This young man does finally step out in faith and comes to North Carolina, his home, to plant a church. He was fearful in doing that, but full of faith, knowing that God would somehow use him. God has the ability to take someone just plain and simple, common and ordinary, and do extraordinary things. As he began to build the church, even in the very early years, this church began to support missions. Not only giving, in the early years, 24% of its money to missions, but also taking people around the world. What's wonderful is down through the years, we've gone to so many places and so many people have gone. In those early years, what began in Venezuela, Guatemala, Honduras, has progressed to so many countries and so many people going that it's just thrilling to see. Let me speak first of all as a father. I'm so thankful that God did a work in my own family, first in my life, getting me to go across the sea in different places, and to take me there, even though that I was apprehensive. I found great joy in it, and great reward, and great love, and a great response to the gospel as well. I saw Him work in my life. I saw Him work in the lives of others. It made me hungry for more. A benefit that's especially good is the fact that He called my son too to go to Africa, to the country of Uganda, as a missionary journeyman for 2 years with the IMB. It was a very primitive place. Phyllis and I got to visit him. It was like going back hundreds of years as we traveled and went into huts, and there we began to teach and train people. My heart's been moved in the places where God is moving. Now today, I'm a pastor after 23 years, and I've watched person after person leave this fellowship and go either short-term or long-term to the mission field. We now have 9 families, some are singles, that I know of that are serving the Lord in the mission field. I'm excited about those and also the many more that will come. My prayer is that before I'm done pastoring, leading this congregation, there'll be 100 persons who'll be on the mission field. If I count up all those families and their kids, it's about 36, so I'm well on my way. I read the Great Commission and it said go. I was scared, but I went, and He has blessed my life. So let me encourage you today. Whether you're a student, male, female, a young man, young woman, adult, middle-aged, even elderly, God can speak into your heart and He can challenge you to do several things. To pray for missions, to give to missions for sure, and even to go on either a short-term or consider a long-term, either 2 years or a lifetime. The rest of the years can be the best of the years in your life for God. So I'm speaking today as a man, I'm speaking as a father, I'm speaking also as a husband and the shepherd of a flock, and I'm encouraging you to go. I am sent.